68% of event planners use 4 or more tools to manage a single event. Yet, with Odoo, you only need one. Hi everyone, for those who haven't heard me these past 2 talks, my name is Manon. I'm a business analyst and part of the marketing expertise team here at Odoo. Here is the QR code to scan to ask your question, and we'll go over them at the end of this presentation. So today, what I'm going to show you is every new feature that came out in the event application and how to manage your whole event life cycle. Because you might know it, but when you create an event, there is not just the preparation of the event. There's obviously the event in itself, but also the promotion, because you want people to attend your event. There's the day of the event and everything that goes with it. And finally, there's the follow-up to measure your success. So how to do that with Odoo? Well, let me show you. Great. So we are in our Odoo database and we're going to go into the event application. So here for this use case, I'm a marketing agency and it's time to organize my annual marketing conference. So I'm going to create a new event. Let's call it the marketing conference for 2025. 2025. So here you're going to set up the main information of your event. So obviously you're going to choose the date. So let's set it up for the beginning of October, and it's going to take place over 3 days. But here, what I'm going to do, and I want to gain some time, is to reuse every information from the event of last year. How to do that? Well, simply by configuring an event template. So here I have defined the dates of the event, and I'm going to choose a template, which is my annual marketing conference. And just by clicking on that template, you see that everything is already populated. So we have tickets that are already present, we have tags, we have also communication and question, everything is set up. So if you have some events that are recurring over the year, you can prepare an event template and reuse that quite easily, and obviously you still have the hand to choose and change everything. So let's go into more details into each of the elements. First, the tickets. So here we have 2 types of registration. We have the standard ticket and the VIP one. Let's change the price from last year and say that the standard registration is going to be a bit more expensive. Well, not that expensive. Okay, one of the cool new features is the fact that now you can limit the number of tickets someone can purchase per order. You see here we have the new column, limit per order. And now you can say, okay, well, one participant can only purchase 10 tickets at a time for the standard registration and 5 for the VIP one. So let's save that and let's see on our website what it looks like. So if I go on the website, I have obviously the page to introduce my event, but let's go to the register page. And here, so when you're going to register, you have the possibility to choose between the standard and the VIP registration. And let's say I'm trying to buy 15 standard tickets. Automatically, Odoo will bring the number back to 10 because this is the limit I have set up. And same for the VIP. If I try to buy 10 VIP tickets, Odoo will tell me that the maximum is 5. So this is one of the new features of the event application, as well as the revision of the model. So here you see we have plus and minus button to change the number of tickets, and it's no longer a drop down, so you can purchase more tickets at once. So let's purchase 1 VIP ticket. The rest of the process hasn't changed, meaning that you will have some question to answer for your participants to be able to purchase the ticket, and I will show you right after that. So we go to payments and then we pay for our ticket. It creates automatically a sales order, and if we go back to my event, we already have here 1 attendee and the sales that it has generated. So this limit is really helpful because you're going to be able to manage the participant and the number of tickets they can purchase at once. Okay, so let's move on to the communication tab. So here in the communication tab, what is great is that Odoo will automatically schedule and send the communication based on the date of your event. So here you see that my event is on the 1st of October, and I need to change that. We have here a trigger and a scheduled date to send the registration confirmation. So here you see that immediately after registration, I will receive the confirmation by email. But I can also set up some reminder, and you probably receive them by attending Odoo experience, where that's exactly where it happens. And you see that the scheduled date is automatically calculated based on the date of your event. Here, what is new is that we have some new triggers. So not only do we have after each registration, that's difficult to say, but we also have the before and after the event start and end date. So you can really add some personalized communication and do some reminder at any time that you want. On top of that, here it's not only email that you can send. You can also use some SMS or even WhatsApp templates to send a reminder and automatically send a reminder via WhatsApp to your participants. So everything is managed in one place. Let me just go back to the template, the email template, and choose the event reminder. Okay, now next up we have the questions. So those are the questions that appears when you register to your event. And here it's also a new feature. We now have a library of questions. Let me show you. So if we go into the configuration, we have here up event question. Now you can create questions for your event and share them between the different events. So you do not need to retype every time the same question, such as how did you learn about this event? So let's create a new question together, and we're gonna ask what position do you have in your company? In your company. We're gonna put the answer. So for example, it's gonna be entry level. You can be, let's say, a manager. You can be the C-level, or you could be a specialist. So let's add those options. Specialist. Great. And here you see at the top you have the default question and is reusable, meaning that you will be able, if you check that default question box, that every time you're going to create a new event, that question will be by default added. So let's go to the event and let's create a new one to just show you. In the question tab, now we have all the questions as well as the one that I have created. So automatically you can share the question between the event and gain some time to reuse them. And on top of that, what is really great is that you also have some statistic on the question. So let me go back to the event question. You see here you have a button with the statistic. If you click on it, this is a new feature as well, where you will have some reporting directly on the question. So you see here it was how did you learn about this event? Well, we have the different responses, and we also have the different events that we already organized. And everything is present there, and you can select that and you have all the questions that you might have. So now you can have some statistic on all the event questions to know what works best. For example, well, for my case, it was I think social media or website that was the best way to promote my event. So this is also a cool new feature. Great. Now let me come back to my event. So we have the tickets, we have the communication and the question. Let's go check the notes and documents. Here you see automatically I already have a ticket instruction because it was present in my event template. Okay, so let's move forward and let's see, we have also other options right here. When you configure an event in Odoo, you have a lot of options. So here if I open the configuration tab, you see that you can add some booths, meaning that just like we have right outside this room, we have the booths that your partner can rent. And here they have been added automatically as well because they were present in my event template. You can also add some tracks. So the tracks will be every talks that you will have during the day, the planning of the day, just like you have right here for the Odoo experience, as well as some sponsor that can be placed on your website. Great, so here I have a marketing conference that takes place every year. But as a marketing agency, I also organize marketing training, and those are recurrent. And this is a great and anticipated new feature, is the fact that we can now manage recurring events. Not by creating an event every time you have the event date, but simply by creating one event and then ticking this box, which is the multiple slots. So here we have multiple slots and we have the number of slots. And you see that also the option to limit registration. Now you can limit it per slot. So here I'm organizing marketing training and I only have space to have 10 people at a time. Well, I will select the 10 attendees per slot. How to define the slot? Well, simply by clicking here on this little button with the slot, you will arrive on this calendar view. And here you will be able to say, well, you see here, I have different slots that are planned for September for my marketing training. Let's go into October and I would like to add some other slots, for example, on Fridays. Well, I can select the different dates, either like that or selecting multiple dates at once. Click on the add button and define the slot. So my training will be from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So let's add that and automatically the slot will be added. And this is great because you can really manage the recurrence, and let's say that in November there isn't any slot because I'm on vacation. Well, you do not need to create the slot, but you can resume the training in December, for example. So what does it look like on the website? Well, let's go check it out. So I have my events and you see right here that we see the next dates of that marketing training. And while people will register, they will have to choose one slot. And if I choose one slot and I try, for example, remember I have a limitation of 10 per slot. If I try to purchase 15 spots, well, I only have 10 maximum that I can purchase at once. So the rest of the process will be the same, and you will have the possibility to register for a specific slot and see every slot available for the training, and you see that there isn't any in November because I'm not there. So this is really a highly anticipated feature and really great because now you can simply create one event but with multiple dates on your event. Great, so we have configured the event, the marketing conference for 2025. Let's say that everything is clear for me and we're going to announce the event. Remember what I said at the start, there's the preparation of the event and then there's the promotion of the event. What is interesting and how integrated it is the fact that if you click here on the invite button, you will have the email marketing app that opens up and you will be able to create a great email marketing to invite people to your event. So if you were not there at my previous talk, I was explaining how to create a great email marketing campaign using Odoo. Well, I will let you check that out, but just so you know, everything is integrated and you do not have to leave Odoo to send the communication and to invite people to your event. So let's take this template, we have the event promo, and you can target your contact or any other target recipient in Odoo. So you have the promotion, you have now the day of the event. On the day of the event, what you want to do is to mark the attendees as attended. And to do that, we have the registration desk. So when you open the registration desk, you have the possibility to scan the QR code or the barcode on your participant ticket. Here I'm going to do it manually, but the idea is the same if I have my scanning right here. So I'm going to select an attendee and mark them as attended. So we see that right now they are just here is register. If I click on it, I successfully register just to the training. But what is also a new feature is the fact that we now have the multi-day scan. So let's say your event takes place over a couple of days, such as the Odoo experience and my marketing conference right here. If someone comes up on the first day with its ticket and you scan the ticket, if they try to come back the second day with the same ticket, you will have the information that the ticket was already scanned. So for example, here we have David that already attended the marketing training. If I try to re-click on it or if I try to rescan that ticket, you will have the information that the ticket was first scanned on the 18th of September. So it's really helpful now to manage the fact that people try to enter your event with the same ticket and give them to their friends. Well, now you will see if the ticket was already scanned. And if we go onto the event directly, so marketing training, and check the attendees, here we have David. In the participant information, you will see the information right here in the chatter that they already attended that event. So this is also one of the cool new features of the event application, this multi-day scan. Okay, another new feature. Let's say here I have my marketing conference that is announced. Here you see I was planning to organize a webinar to talk about AI in marketing. But I want to cancel that webinar because this finally will be a topic during my marketing conference. I can do that simply by changing the status. So I'm going to mark it as cancelled. And what is new is that the communication, so remember I mentioned that communication are automated based on the dates of your event. Now every communication will be automatically cancelled. So you see here we have a little cross to say that, well, there won't be any more registration confirmation that will be sent. And if we go on the website, automatically we have the information that the event has been cancelled. So you do not need to remind yourself, I have to go on the website and unpublish my event or anything. Everything is managed for you and no communication will be triggered automatically. So that's also one of the new features. Great. Now, we have done the event. Let's say that the event has ended and you have to do the follow-up. So in terms of follow-up, there are a couple of elements that you can use in Odoo. We first have the reporting. So we have the reporting on attendees as well as revenue. So you have automatically some graphs that are generated by Odoo with different types of measure. Here it's the count of attendees. And you also have the same logic with revenue. So if your events are billable, so you have the revenue. We also have, since the version 18, in the dashboard application, a section dedicated to event as well. So here in the event, we have other types of KPI, other types of graphs, and you can also choose the dates and the filter, and everything will be adapted automatically. But what's also important, so obviously doing the follow-up is important to measure your success and improve yourself in event organization, but you also want to create new leads from the event participants, because once again, the event application is totally integrated. So what we can do is we have the option to define some lead generation rules. So here, let's say I'm going to generate some new leads that will enter my CRM application. So once again, it's totally integrated if the participant was a VIP participant. So let me check if I do have a VIP participant, otherwise it won't work. So marketing conference, I have one attendee and it's the VIP registration, perfect. So let's configure the lead generation together. We're going to create a new rule, so we're going to call it VIP attendee. And when are we going to create that? It's per attendee, so not per order, but per attendee. And when are we going to create the rule? When attendees attended the event. That's tricky to say. Because we only want people who did show up to the event to be marked as leads. You can select if that rule will apply to all your events or to a specific event. In my case, I want it to be applied to all my events. And here I'm going to add some conditions. So why will I add some condition? It's because if I do not create that, every attendees will be created as leads, and it's not the goal. So here, I want only to have the VIP attendees. So I'm going to add a rule saying that the ticket type is equal to VIP registration. So I have a couple, so I'm just gonna say contains VIP, because I have multiple events with VIP tickets. So let's save that, and you see here I have 8 records. Great, now you can also add some default values. So see how the event application is totally integrated with the CRM application. We have the notion of sales team. So let's say I have a sales team that is dedicated to the VIP person, so we're gonna select that, and we're also gonna add a tag with the VIP tag so that my salesperson will know automatically that they are a VIP attendee. Great, so now I have the rule, let's execute it. There is no lead, why? Well, simply because, let's go into my event. So my marketing conference of 2025, so we have the attendee, and remember the rule, it was when attendees attended the event. Right now, I'm only registered, so let's mark me as attending. Now I am attended, it's a VIP ticket, and if I'm going back to my event, you see here, automatically, I have a new smart button that pops up that created the lead. And if I click on it, I would be redirected to my CRM application with a new lead that has been created, with all the information of the participant when they register, so their email address, their phone number, and every question that they filled when they register to the event. So automatically, you have new leads that can be created based on the rules of your event, and the event application is, once again, totally integrated with other applications of Odoo. Great, so now I have created my event, I have done the promotion of the event, I have done the follow-up. Let's come back to my presentation. So to conclude, now that I have done the follow-up of my event, I can safely say that from the sign-up to the lead generation, everything is handled in Odoo. So I did not leave Odoo during this presentation at all. I stayed with one application, event, and that application is totally connected with email marketing, with website, but also with CRM. So it means that everything is in one place, and I do not need to run everywhere to manage my events. So thanks to Odoo, you can turn your event into growth engine, and everything is in one place. Il y a full question.
Okay, so we have several questions. When do slots disappear from website? Depends of the ticket date.
When do slots disappear from the website?
So when you can put the multi-slot on the event,
yes.
When will it disappear from the website if it's no longer available?
Yeah. So the slot will disappear from the website once it's passed. So once the date is in the past, you won't have the possibility to register to that slot anymore.
I saw that the product owner just responded on the pad. Thank you. Can recurring event take place on different locations?
Currently, no. So when you always the wrong stream. So when you create your event, you have to choose here a venue, and you can only select one venue. So for example, here it's CNM Digital Marketing. You can also select Brussels Expo or whatever, but it's only one venue currently.
Okay. Can I scan 3 times the same ticket for each day of a 3-day long event to check the presence?
Well, you will be able to scan the ticket multiple times per day, but you will have the same display as I had here, which is the fact that the ticket was first scanned. And as I showed you, if you go, you need to go into the participant to see when the ticket was scanned. So from here, you won't have the information of the hour, for example, when the ticket was scanned. So if you go onto your event, so it was the marketing training and it was David right here. Here you only have the dates, but you also have the information on the hours, but you need to check into the chatter. So it might not be super efficient if you have to go check for every participant in the chatter. You can scan a ticket multiple times per day, but you will have to go check for the hours in the chatter.
Okay, thank you. Can I do a survey after the event?
Yes, you can do survey after the event. So I did not talk about it because I was afraid of speaking too much. But so let's say to complete your journey and the follow-up of the event, you could easily set up a survey. So here I did an event survey with different questions, and I put that survey in marketing automation. So let me show you here. I have created a campaign, the post-event survey, where the target is event registration. And every time the status of the participant is attended, I have sent the survey via email to have the thought about the event and to improve myself. So once again, it's totally integrated here with marketing automation, but also with survey. And obviously, if you have questions on the marketing automation capabilities, we are at the booth, and you also have our talk that we did in the afternoon about that.
Do we always need to invoice a sale order to confirm the attendee?
Sorry?
Do we always need to invoice
a
sale order to confirm the attendee at the event?
Great question. So when you have an event that people need to pay for, let me think. Good question. I will check it out and come see me at the booth so I can test that feature. Or maybe the product owner might respond. I don't know.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.